thank you. And actually I have to say that after being berated and embarrassed by my wife, I am not wearing tube socks tonight. I went home, not only did I get texted last week from her watching the Instagram Live, but also at home, and all week I got another text today. I hope you're not wearing tube socks. So I'm wearing my low cut.
Who owns tube socks?
They're comfortable. I got used to wearing them in the winter, and I just kept wearing them. I'm wearing my short cut socks today.
Oh, good.
Okay, and I have been last week.
Thanks.
So Audrey, if you're watching or listening, no tube socks, okay?
What?
Sorry. I'm not
What's
trying
up?
to derail. Unlock.
Oh, unlock.
Yes.
Sorry, put a mark there. Sorry, I don't know what you were talking about. Oh, you want to do the Instagram? Is that why?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
You wanna start
Wait.
over then?
No, we're good. You got that right.
Mhm.
That was very funny. I wasn't ready
It's
for
all
you to
true.
talk. I really wasn't ready for you to talk about tube socks.
I'm telling you, man, I have a lot of shit to talk. Don't worry.
I know you do. That's why I'm excited to be here. Also today we are interviewing Zach Hyman,
Yes.
who is not only a player for the Leafs, but he is that's the Toronto Maple Leafs for anybody who's not a non-hockey person.
You really had to say Toronto Maple Leafs, is it?
You know why? Because we're getting some listeners that are tuning in to learn.
Okay,
about
I'm
hockey.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So I know,
apologize.
Mr. Hockey Red Wings expert, that you know who the Toronto Maple Leafs are. But you know what? Because sometimes I say like, oh, and then he played for Los Angeles, and people don't know that Los Angeles has a hockky team.
Right,
And those are people from
or
Los
he's good on the
Angeles
forecheck
who
and
live
the
next to the
forecheck games.
Staples
Okay,
Center.
all right, that's fine.
It's hockey, dude. It's
Fair
not
enough.
the Lakers. And it's really interesting because people don't know about it.
But he's an accomplished author. He has 3 children's books, and actually I am reading one to my daughter. We're in the midst of it.
Which one are you reading?
Hockey Hero.
Well, it's incredible. If you're watching us live on Instagram or YouTube, which you should be, and I think we are now live on Instagram. There's our producer Sean Gosser and Shahab Siri's taking some video for us. Missing Lauren.
She's where's she, out of town? She's in Nashville?
She is. I think
Nashville.
she's in Nash Vegas.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Nash Vegas.
Nash Vegas. That's what we called it. That's what I went to Vanderbilt.
She's not here, and nor are my tube socks.
Well,
Okay, so
I have always I've been a fan of tube socks a long time ago.
and it wasn't like I was wearing the ones that go up to almost the knee that were like yellow and green striped. Okay, they're Costco tube socks. They were comfortable on my feet, but I got embarrassed, berated, humiliated by my wife about them.
Well deserved.
I mean, there's plenty of things to pick on me about, but I didn't think my tube socks would have been the one thing. But okay, Audrey, there's no tube socks.
We'll find some other stuff to pick on you about. Don't
Oh,
worry.
believe me, there's a treasure trove of them.
Well, with Zach Hyman playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I will use the entire team, there's Red Wings issues there. So I mean, that's kind of a rivalry across the tunnel.
It is, and before when they played in the Norris division, it was a much bigger rivalry. But like I said, the Leafs have always had a place in my heart because of my family that lives there, and went to games when I was a kid there and everything else. So I always kind of root for them in a different way, more in a passive way. I don't get the same emotional way that I do watching the Wings, which is probably good for my health. But because I don't think I can take one more team that would do that to me. But I definitely root for them on some level, and I really wish for success. And plus, there's a lot, baseball though. I did it
With a beeper.
With a beeper, 1998, folks. I've got to time it properly.
It was that was a big cup win.
Yeah, it was. It was especially after the big trauma of Konstantinov.
That's right.
And Sergei Minastakis getting injured, and unfortunately just never really getting back to their lives. But they're doing okay from what I hear, and
Well,
Vladdy's Vladdy.
we'll see what the Red Wings are able to come up with this year. I think there's been a lot going on. You said there was a trade today.
It wasn't a
right?
trade, it was actually a pickup, and actually, although I root against him because when he played for the Penguins, he killed us. But Brooks Orpik, he's back on the Capitals for a year. He got traded to Colorado. They bought him up because they wanted to go with their quote youth movement.
Right.
And I do feel bad for a guy that gives his all for the sport that he loves and whatever team it's going to be, and it gets traded, and then they say we don't need you. You were just kind of a throwaway in a sense. And I feel bad for guys like that. Again, I didn't care for Shane Doan. as a player, but I felt bad for him what happened to them after the Coyotes basically just dumped him when he remained loyal. I don't like seeing that in sports. I like loyalty. I like franchises stay loyal to players, not to a fault, but that know when there's guys that give their everything, have been hurt and still play and everything else, and then management looks at these numbers and looks at dollars and says, you're out.
Well, and that's the thing, because it's a business.
It is a
And
business,
You gotta
but
remember that.
still, there's gotta be some other loyalty, and very few franchises do that for their players.
Well, and they're not able to do that because, a lot of the times there's an issue with not only the cap, but also with the trades.
Speaking of loyalty, someone's asking, what is your favorite hockey team?
There's a question.
Oh,
what
come
is-
on, that's a terrible question, because you won't answer it.
Who's favorite hockey team? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a favorite. I don't. I really don't.
Where were you born? You were born in Jersey.
All right, fine. So this is I'm going to tell you because you know what happened
No,
today
I
in
can't
the locker
figure
room.
them out.
No, I'm going to tell you what happened today in the
He's
locker
an
room.
enigma wrapped in a riddle.
Listen.
It's not even up for discussion.
That's exactly right, because
Yeah.
that's how I roll. I'm in the locker room this morning, so I work out with a guy who played for the Seattle Mariners, who's now in financial services. He's a great guy, Chris Cassigerian, and then there's also I want to have the whole locker room team in here. They're hilarious people. They're really fun. But anyway, I was wearing like a "Let's Go Ducks" shirt or something like that I picked up at one of the games. And the guy who's a Blackhawks fan looks at me. It's not Cassigerian. He goes, "You have no loyalty." He goes, "One day you've got a Penguins hat on. The next day you've got a Duck shirt on. I saw you have a Kings pullover." He goes, "What is it going to be?"
He's right.
I said, "I'm a hockey
Sorry.
fan."
No.
You know what?
He's
You know,
right.
No, I am a hockey fan. This is Dr. Hockey Podcast. I'm not here to cheer on some, one team because, it's the Penguins or the Rangers.
Part of being a sports fan means that you pick a team. Most often it's the team that you were born with or born into.
I wasn't born on a team.
Well, let me finish. When you pick a team, and it's the team that you get emotional about. It's the team that you are just depressed for a week or 2 weeks or even years that they've lost a big series. It's the team that you ride high. I don't.
There's
how
only
do
one
you
team
live with
that's like
yourself
that.
way?
I do. There's only one team that I feel that way about.
Who?
The Penguins.
But that's an unfounded. But okay.
That's
Oh,
the
wait.
truth.
Okay, let's let the use
I
as an
don't
example.
let that out. The question was asked, so I'm going to
Use
say
it as an example. Then how do you wear a Kings shirt? How do you wear a Duck shirt? That is not.
because I need to wear something. I'm like Stephen Wright. I might have two different colored socks on, but I go by thickness.
You know what? No, it doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense with this.
It's true.
The only
I have to
hockey
wear
team-
clothes.
The only hockey
need-
team
I
I
need a
have,
shirt to work
my
out in.
pajamas, my boxers, my t-shirts, Red Wings.
That's because you have like issues.
No, that's how
Serious,
that's how
deep-seated childhood
no,
issues.
that's
They
how a
are.
fan is. You don't wear the team of the rival. You don't wear other teams. You stick with your team.
The Ducks are nobody's rival. Who's their rival?
The Kings.
Come on.
What-
The
who's
rivalry? No, that's not a
Anyway,
rivalry.
the bottom line is
The rivalry is the Penguins and the Capitals.
pick a
That's
side.
rivalry.
Pick a side, man.
No, I'm not picking
Pick a
any
side.
sides. No way. I got to go to hockey games. If I don't see hockey, I go crazy.
All right, well, pick a side. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'm going to be at the Ducks games again this year. Somehow I'm going to have to go through the season and go to those games, and I don't know how I'm going to do it because the Ducks have done nothing this offseason. They picked up some guys from their AHL affiliate, the Gulls. They have not made moves that, to me, say that they're going to do anything this year.
Well, speaking of teams that aren't going to do anything this year, what do you think is going to happen with Buffalo after having the number 1 pick? They already had Eichel. They already have. I mean, this is a team that not quite on the same level as Edmonton because they haven't as many first picks, but as far as a team that, on paper, doesn't look bad.
Buffalo.
I mean, they're not.
So last year we were, I think it was before you came on a lot.
We're still stymied about Edmonton.
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened there.
Well, I think that's an ego issue, but I think also with Buffalo, we talked about Buffalo last year. They largely have the same crew, except they have a.
Are you a Buffalo Sabres fan too, by the way? Do you have a Buffalo Sabres shirt?
I have Buffalo Sabres shot glasses.
Why don't you just wear an NHL Shield shirt and leave it at that? Just leave NHL.
That's fine. I'm all about the NHL. I am a huge fan. I'm an advocate for the NHL.
All right, then
and
fine.
you should be too.
Then don't root for any team in particular.
I don't root for any team in particular.
You're
I
impossible.
do. I root for the Penguins. Yeah,
You're like the commissioner.
I am like the commissioner. I got to be that way. I do.
Does that mean I can boo you here then?
You can boo me all you want. That's it. You do boo me.
All right, boo.
You boo me every time I bring up. I'm not even gonna bring it up. I don't even have to bring it up. I don't even have to say. I don't have to say one
2000.
word because all I got to do is just like throw it up in the air, like there it
Mention a
is.
year.
I just have to say like. There's nothing you. I don't even like. It's over now, and he's gonna be depressed. He's gonna feel the pang of him walking out of the Joe in 2000. I'm not. Even, I'm gonna stop right there.
No.
But the bottom line is that you know, if I do have to root for any team at all, I mean, I root for the teams that I have a connection to. I have a connection to the Rangers. I have a connection to the Penguins, and I have a connection kind of to the Kings and the Ducks just because I live here.
So Jay's
But-
28th favorite team is the Arizona Coyotes.
Well,
is that how it goes? Is that...
Probably. You know,
I mean,
maybe
why don't you
29.
do a special podcast thing? We're going to rank your favorite teams.
That would be great. I'd like to do that actually.
Okay.
I could rank my.
All right.
favorite
I want to
teams.
rank your teams, and I'll judge them.
Who do you think is my least favorite team?
Probably the Red Wings because of me. That's
No, I like the Red Wings. I think
Okay.
they're all right.
Your least favorite team?
Who is my least favorite
Oh,
team?
jeez.
Can you really like you know me now? So who's my least favorite team? It's not because I don't like them, like I hate them, but they're just my least favorite.
The Panthers.
No.
No, not the I like the Panthers because I like that Trocheck.
I wanna say
guy,
it's
'cause he's from
Montreal.
Pittsburgh.
I want to say Montreal.
it's either Montreal or Dallas. I really
Yeah.
have issues with those two teams. And Dallas could be a great team, but I think I don't know who's running the show over there, and I don't know what happened in Montreal. But Montreal drives me crazy at this point. They get good players, they kick them all out. It's a nightmare.
Best goalie in hockey, and then there's no support behind them.
But there's something wrong. There's something wrong with Montreal.
I'll tell you what it is. When a team, and I'm going to jump sports here for shift gears for a little bit, but I'll use the Lions, the Detroit Lions as an example.
Okay.
When you have
There's a Lions fan.
when you have a consistently poor record for years upon years upon years, whether it's
My whole
having
life.
fixed- you can trace it back to the common denominator of the owners. That's
That's
simple.
right.
It's a buck stops there. And if you have
Fish
bad
rots
owners,
from the head down.
Yeah, if you have bad owners, they make bad decisions in personnel. They make bad decisions in players. As one of my residency trainers used to say, garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
That's as simple as that.
So what's going on in Montreal? Is it the owners? Is it the ownership? Is it the front office?
Honestly, I don't know enough about them, but if I look at the last time we won a cup was what year? 92 was it?
3.
93?
Three.
Yeah.
So, okay, 25 years, not having really the success that Montreal is accustomed to, you gotta look at the owners. Simple as that.
My new fellow has been in Montreal at
Right,
McGill
right.
for many, many years. So I'm going to ask him if he will come on the podcast to talk about that, but if he won't, because he is a doctor, and this is the Dr. Hockey podcast, and he is a Habs fan, which is hard. But if he won't come on, we should ask him, who can tell us what is, like, who can give
It's
us the
not hockey
diagnosis?
specific, it's across the board in
Right.
sports. It's bad ownership. When you have teams that are consistently the bottom echelon of the league, whatever sport you're in, we're talking about the 4 major sports here.
Of course.
I don't care about soccer, sorry.
We've already gone over
I
that
know
last
that.
week.
I know we did.
If
Talking
anybody has
about
any
the
questions,
four-
please listen to last week's
Right.
podcast.
The 4 major sports in the US and Canada, if you look at the consistent poor bottom feeding teams in every league, it's the ownership. That's as simple as that. And nothing, they can keep getting a new coach here and there. As a Lions fan, we got a new coach, and it's the same 7 and 9. It's the consistency of that. But you look at a team in hockey, like the Blackhawks, or you look at the Red Wings from before, even though they have same owners now. But it's cyclical in a sense, but you look at that consistency, 25 years in the playoff straight,
I know.
okay? You look at the Illiches. The Illiches took a horrible franchise, literally on life support, and turned it around. Mr. Illich, rest in peace, was a genius. And he really took that team, when they got Yzerman, so all it takes is that one player,
I know.
and look what happened. So you look at other teams now that have more than one first-round top pick, and they just can't get it together. Buffalo's the prime example. Eichel, okay? I mean,
Can't
he
get it
should be
together.
leading that
I
team.
know.
Then they end up getting rid of Kane, who had some off-ice issues. But the problem is you have a team like this that now they have a second number one overall pick, apparently a generational player in Darlene. What's gonna happen this season? Let's see. Now, you can't just give him one season,
No.
but it's a work in progress. But still, you gotta wonder.
Well, I have good news for you. The good news, Jason, is that we are going to be able to do this podcast for the entire season coming up because of our awesome sponsors.
And no tube socks.
Well, and if you would shop at Indochino.com,
Yes.
then you would look a little bit smarter than the tube socks. That's all I'm saying.
They don't have tube socks?
They don't have tube socks.
All right.
I'm looking at Sean, and Sean's like, I don't think they have tube socks. And
Okay.
they may have them. Maybe for you they do.
I'm sure they
I don't
have
know
some
if
dress
They
socks.
might have dress socks. I don't know if they have tube socks.
Okay.
But I want to talk about our sponsors, because it's
Absolutely.
very important, and then we got to get to Zach Hyman.
Yes.
And we got to talk about his books, and so this podcast is going to be big.
And I can't wait to talk to him because he's a very interesting, and I'm gonna feel like a real old guy saying this, he's a very interesting young man. And it's very weird saying that because I technically could be his dad. Not, I'm saying that I could be, I'm saying that from an age perspective.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
That is what freaks me out. There's guys in the NHL that I could literally,
Yeah,
of the
well,
age of
we're
their
old.
father.
That's what happens.
yeah.
If you hang around long enough, it
Yes,
happens. You
I
look
know,
around
I
and you're like,
know,
oh my God,
it's a strange feeling.
I got 5-0 coming next month, so
Yeah.
anyway. I want to talk about Never Too Hungover,
Yes.
which is the best tasting and most effective way to help prevent hangovers, according to an independent study by nobody. But it is the fastest growing
Anecdotal.
hangover. It's anecdotal, evidently. It is the fastest growing hangover prevention beverage in the U.S., and it helps neutralize toxins created by alcohol and restores vital nutrients, rehydrates the body with electrolytes. What they suggest is that you drink one 3.4 ounce bottle before or while drinking to feel great the next day. The key ingredients include potassium, B vitamins, milk thistle, green tea extract, aloe vera, and amino acids. It's sugar-free, gluten-free, low-calorie, and it does taste great. I will attest to that for sure. What I think you should do, if you've never had Never Too Hungover, is go to never2hungover.com and use our promo code HOCKEY to get 25% off your first order. If you have any question about the validity of this product, there are amazing reviews that can be read on Amazon.com. You go to any of the review sites about this beverage. It's very well reviewed. You can get it at GNC, Vitamin Shop, Bevmo, Specs in Texas, Binny's in Chicago, and it's available in all the casinos in Vegas. But I think you should use the never2hungover.com and get the 25% off with your promo code HOCKEY. Have you done that?
I told you I did, yeah.
You did the promo code?
Not the promo code, I did get it elsewhere, but I will do the promo code.
You should do it.
because
Why not?
I do like using it.
You and I should get 25% off our first order. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll do it too. I think I always buy it at GNC because it's right there when I go to get all my
Where did I get it? I can't remember where I got it before, but I think it was GNC. And yeah, I tried it and it was good, actually. I used it after a workout.
There you go.
As I said before, I don't drink, and when I do, it's a Shirley Temple.
That's nice. And you know what?
Extra,
You
oh,
got
and an extra cherry.
too many Shirley Temples, Jason. You're gonna need a lot of Never Too
Oh
Hungover.com.
yeah, oh yeah, the hard stuff.
All right. Well, let's redirect and saucer one over to Zach Hyman.
Sounds good.
Groovy.
Why don't you stop there and then
That was
I'll do,
cool. I'm gonna cut the Indochino part. It was too short. The
No, I'll
Never
do it-
Too Hungover was long enough. But yeah, do me a full
Let's do an
Indochino,
Indochino.
and I'll just pipe it in there.
Yeah, let me do an Indochino.
All right, I'm pulling Jason's thing down. Let's make it just a short, just you banging through the reed.
All right.
Which one you got there? Partner?
You want Jason on?